All right. So you would agree that they're equal in power,
I'm cool with that.
and would you agree that Saiyans get stronger as they fight?
I'm cool with that.
Okay, and we know that Cell has Saiyan cells.
hmm
Okay, so my argument is since they start out equal in power, as they fight, Cell would slowly become stronger and then eventually win the fight.
Okay. Can you really quantify his rate of growth per se? Because you're implying that at the start of the
I don't
fight.
think.
Mhm.
T-
Because
can
when
you
you're
tell me
saying
why
when
his
you're
rate of
saying
growth is
something like,
irrelevant?
why is it irrelevant?
Can you tell me why you believe it is?
Why I believe it is. I mean, you don't want to brought it up because you were saying that well, in a fight, he would just outgrow him in a fight. I'm saying that you know the rate of growth for him to completely overcome him.
No, I'm telling you, since he has Saiyan cells, he would eventually get stronger in the fight and win.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. But I'm telling you, do you know the rate of growth? Like, can you quantify the rate of growth?
And
Like,
I'm
at
asking
what
you,
point?
why is it important?
That's your claim.
No, my claim is he'll eventually get stronger and win. I never put a timestamp on it.
I know that, but I'm telling you that can you provide like evidence for it to be able to overcome him?
Can I provide
Because I'm
evidence? Well,
cool
if
with
they
him being
start,
able to get stronger in a fight,
we already
but I
we
don't think
already
he's going to
established that
immediately
they
do it.
start out. Hold on, we already
Mm-hmm.
established they start out equal in power. We already
Mm-hmm.
established that Saiyans get stronger in fight. You agreed to all this, and we know
Mm-hmm.
it's a fact. Trying to say otherwise is just being ratty that he has Saiyan cells. So therefore, as they fight, he will get stronger.
It
I didn't
isn't
put a time
ready.
frame on it. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't put a time frame on it. You're the one asking. So if you're the one asking, then tell me why it's important.
Like what? Like the reason why I brought it up is because if fucking Dabura like spits on that nigga, there's nothing to say that he would just outgrow him in strength immediately. Like there's nothing to imply that. Because even though I
The
do
spit
agree
on
that
the
they're
fight
equal
is
in power, because even though I do agree that they're equal in power, and that Saiyan cells can like cause him to grow stronger the more he fights, I don't think there's anything to prove that. Well, if Dabura just spits on a nigga with like magic or something, he turns to stone. There's nothing to really insinuate that he just instantly becomes powerful enough to just overcome him. That's why I'm asking you: can you really quantify the fucking like the time frame? Because that is important.
Well, first you need to prove how the spit would actually do anything against him.
Oh, okay, I'm cool with that. So even though both Dabura and Cell are stated equal in power, Goku believes that with his magic, he just scales over. So I'm just going to drop the manga panels for it. So this is stated right here that Cell, at least, well, not Cell, Dabura, at least physically, their first exchange, he says that they're about the same level. Then once he starts using magic, Goku says that he's tougher than he thought. So at least with magic, he believes that he's on a level above Cell.
Right. So we could argue the semantics of like how we perceive what Goku's saying, but that's why I just dropped the Daijinshi statement right there because the Daijinshi statement says that they're equal in power.
Yeah, they're equal in power,
So
but he's also equal in magic.
essentially that would mean now the power is literally the amalgamation of like everything, of how strong they are in a
Based on
fight,
what? Based on
which
what?
would include their attack power, their AP or whatever the fuck you guys like calling it. So that like his whole like magic thing, that's literally just added on to the fact because in the Daijinshi it says like with his magic they are equal in power.
And that is not what the Daijinshi says. It says on top of having a battle power equal to Cell's, he is also skilled in magic. It doesn't say that his skill makes him equal to Cell in battle power. Do you want me to read the thing for you, like straight on hand?
No, I see it.
Yeah. And then like you were making this claim that battle power is like a sum of everything that a fighter is capable of. Can you show me that? So you're saying that battle power will also like comprise of the magic he possesses. Can you like present that? Like what is the definition of battle power in Dragon Ball?
Let me think of a way to explain it.
Okay.
Because the way that it's always brought up is literally before they fight somebody like, oh, I sense his power. It's amazing. Is all this shit. But they're never like, ooh, I sense his speed. Ooh, I sense his ability to use this specific ability. It's literally I sense his power, which is why it's just an amalgamation of all the shit that they can do. Like his speed, his abilities, all of that is what sums up their power.
So when Goku is sensing Dabura's like quote unquote cell level power, he isn't using magic. He's using his straight up raw power and raw speed, But once he starts using magic, Goku's saying, "Oh shit, he's tougher than I thought." So Goku's estimation of battle power wouldn't account for the magic, because why would he be surprised on that?
Right. So even with that, though, even with the whole magic, even if that slightly gets over him in power, it doesn't get through Cell's hacks because he has no showings with that magic of anything that would just take out Cell.
It doesn't matter if he has any showing. Wait, what? Can you prove that?
100% does.
Okay, where's the showings?
There is none. He does
nothing.
nothing.
You're saying there is no showings.
Exactly. He has no ability. He has no ability that he ever uses that would do anything to Cell.
Like that's okay. So that's unprovable claim because we don't really know how
how's it not unprovable?
Because you're saying that
he uses magic in the fight with Gohan.
Ask me a question. So you asked. So your question, well, not your question. Your claim was, well, he doesn't have anything that can work on Cell. So the issue is that you can't really prove that claim because we have nothing. Like we have no interaction between Cell and Dabura. At least that we know in this context, Goku says that this hacks puts him above Cell. So we can't say that this hacks.
So we see him use magic in fights, and nothing that he uses would do anything to Cell. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay, what's the magic that he uses in a fight?
Well, we already know about the spit.
Below Cell.
We already know about the spit, which would do nothing to Cell. He uses some type of fireball. He uses some type of fireball.
Why?
Let me fucking answer, dude. Chill out. Because the stone spit isn't instantaneous. It's a slow fucking burn thing. He even spits on Gohan on his glove. Gohan just rips off the glove and he's chilling. If he spits anywhere on Cell, Cell just has to get rid of that limb and then it's over. He's chilling. He fucking regenerates. So the stone spit doesn't do jack.
Okay, all right, that's cool. So Cell, he spits on Dabura, not Dabura. He spits on Piccolo, who has regeneration. If Piccolo can cut off his head, he can regenerate, but he's not able to really think on time. So it's implied that he can still hit people.
Because he doesn't. Piccolo and Cell has a way higher fire IQ than Piccolo does.
I don't think that matters. I don't think that matters. It's just the fact that their reaction. It doesn't matter. It's just that based on the reaction of people,
it does matter.
On them, because if he spits on those people, they just would not be able to fucking react to it. The only reason why Gohan is able to react to it because it just stated he's faster and stronger than Gohan. Simple. Well, not faster and stronger. It just stated. Actually, no, that's the anime. Never mind.
Okay. Well,
Gohan and Dabura on the same level.
Are we gonna say that Gohan and Dabura faster and stronger than Piccolo?
No, that was an anime only game. That's an anime only guide. So I'm not gonna use that. So at least for the context of the manga, they're both on the same level. So that's why Gohan should be able to react to it. But you can't tell me that scales back to Cell. Because Gohan doesn't scale this. Well, you haven't displayed anything to scale like Cell to that Gohan.
Okay, so particularly with that Hack's ability, it just does what it does. You spit on him, it turns him to stone. I don't feel like the power thing is really relevant, but even if it is relevant, there is evidence showing that he's holding back when he's fighting Gohan anyway.
Okay, that just works for me then. So the holding back
Dabura,
it doesn't work
for you. No, it doesn't work for you because the Gaijins still states that they're relative in power, and that's my whole argument. That's the basis of my argument.
Okay, so what you're saying is that the fight. So when he's fighting Gohan, he's holding back. But when then Goku is seeing this Dabura who's holding back, he says that this is a power that's tougher than he initially thought, which is Cell level. So either the Daijinshi was saying that's
Gohan's weaker.
Let me talk. Because when you're saying something like that, that's implying that either A, the Daijinshi is just saying that Dabura is a suppressed Dabura is relative.
It's not. You cut out. Are you still talking, or did you cut out?
Yeah. I had a call. So, anyways, so when you're saying that, he's holding it back against Gohan. So even if you were to say he was holding back against Gohan, Goku still makes the statement that, this level of power, quote unquote, suppressed Dabura, is above Cell. The reason why is because he says he's tougher than I thought. Initially,
he says that they're the same, and then he uses the magic, and then that's when he says he's tougher than I thought.
Yes,
and like I said, the only magic he ever shows that would maybe even be an issue for Cell is the stone spit. But a weakened Gohan does away with the stone spit easily. We already know Gohan's weaker in that fight than he is with Cell. There's scans that show it if you disagree.
So
do you disagree?
Gohan throws off a piece of his glove to react to it.
Do you disagree that Gohan's weaker in that fight with Dabura than when he fought Cell?
Do I think he's weaker than when he fought Cell?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So
I
if
don't think he's
basically
weaker
what
than
I'm saying,
Cell.
if a weaker Gohan, if
No, I
he
don't
is
think that.
weaker,
I don't think that Gohan is weaker than Cell. I don't think that Gohan is weaker than Cell.
okay. How am I
Okay.
going to phrase this? No, let me think. Trying to think of a. Okay, so once Gohan, I'm sorry, once Cell blew himself up, he got that Zenkai boost, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then whenever he fought Gohan, Gohan needed like some celestial help from his father to actually beat him with that Kamehameha. So he didn't beat him on his own. So he was already weaker than Cell in that moment when Cell came back. This is the Cell we're talking about, the super perfect Cell. So he is weaker because he's weaker than he was then whenever he needed the help to beat Cell, and he's weaker than that version now whenever he's fighting Dabura.
Oh, can you repeat that? Sorry, are you trying to say that are you trying to say that Cell scales over Gohan per se?
Saying
Like which
super
Gohan?
perfect Cell. Whenever he
Yeah,
came,
like which
whenever
Gohan are you saying that Super Perfect Cell scales over?
the Gohan that fought him.
I mean, I don't think that matters though, because the reason why is that Gohan. The
It
reason
does
why it
matter.
doesn't
Now,
matter. Matter.
hold on. You just said some crazy shit. The
No,
reason why
I
that
never said
matters
anything.
is
I was
because
asking you a
earlier
question.
you
I was
said
asking you a question.
earlier you said that Gohan does not scale below Cell in this fight with Dabura, and I'm telling you that's why he does, because he needed assistance to beat Cell at that point, and he's weaker now when he fights Dabura than he was at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So he
All right,
does.
so
That's why
I'm gonna
if
just drop the
anything,
statements. I'm
if
gonna drop the statements.
Gohan can dismiss anything
Mm-hmm.
that the board does, Cell would also easily be able to dismiss that.
Okay, all right. Let me go and drop these statements real quick. So the reason why I said I don't think Gohan is weaker than Cell is because here you go. So this goes in line with the statement that Dabura is equal to Cell in battle power, and Gohan can contend. Let me talk. So Gohan can't contend him. Then there's also another statement that just says that.
So,
Shit, I keep getting phone calls. My bad. So it states
put your
that
shit on Do Not
Dabura.
Disturb, Brody.
All right, so let me go. I have my shit on Do Not Disturb. I don't know why everyone keeps fucking calling me, but so you have the statement that Dabura is equal to Cell in battle power, and Gohan is relative to him. But then you also have the statement from the Daijins that just says that Gohan's power hasn't changed since he was a boy.
Literally in this scan that you're showing
With
right
strength.
here, Vegeta and Goku are saying he still shouldn't have this much trouble with him. Pathetic. Gohan was stronger when he was a kid, and then Goku says, "Yeah, he really has been slacking."
Yeah, that's based on the rage amp that he gets to kill Cell, which scales
Right,
over
but
Cell. Because
it's
you want me to show you that?
It scaled over the Cell before he blew up and got the Zenkai boost.
No, I'm talking about the Cell. So Gohan was rage boosted when he fought, when he fired that Kamehameha at Cell, right? Like that's the
Right,
power.
and well, whenever he's fighting with Dabura, he's not rage boosted, and he's
Okay, that's
still
cool.
easily doing
So
away with Dabura's
yeah, so
abilities.
they're saying
So that
so they're
doesn't help
saying
your
that
argument.
Gohan. So what they're saying is that Gohan doesn't possess that same level of power he used to kill Cell. That power just blatantly overpowers Cell, so it doesn't scale anywhere.
Hold on, I can show you this scan right here.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me scroll through. It might take me a second to find it.
Actually, let me show Chrome the scan because he's not too familiar with it. So
I know this scan looks a little weird. I got it from Smurf. If you want to question the validity of it,
validity, yeah, just dropping in evidence.
But right here, you'll see Gohan, like his dad saying, "Get angry, do what you did." Like basically, do what you did back then when you beat Cell, and Gohan saying, "I can't do it, no matter how I try." Or actually, I'm pretty sure he's saying, "I am angry, I just can't get that strong." He is. I am angry, but still, I can't be the way I was then.
Mm-hmm. So you hear the emphasis, the emphasis on the power to defeat Cell, right? You remember all the power that you brought up to fight Cell? Like to kill him?
What are you saying?
So that's in reference to Gohan getting rage amped by the Kamehameha. I can show you the scans of like Gohan just blatantly overpowering Cell when he gets rage.
I feel like hold on. Let's dial it back because I feel like some shit's getting lost here in translation here.
Okay, go ahead.
What I'm saying is these abilities, that stone ability in particular that he's using against Gohan is doing away with them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's proven, there's statements that Gohan is weaker than the version that he was when he fought Cell.
Yeah, so you're trying to prove that. You're saying that
if the weaker Gohan can dismiss these abilities, then Cell should have no issue. My argument for why Gohan's scaled below Cell, and you didn't disagree, you had no contention off rip when I said this?
I'm disagreeing with it right now. That's the whole point. So when you're saying that it's a weaker Gohan, I'm saying where does this weaker Gohan scale per se? And you're saying Super Perfect Cell scales over him by using the Kamehameha statement. That's what I'm saying, that only refers to the Kamehameha, which Cell doesn't scale to. So then this weakened Gohan, you can't scale him below Cell.
No, I'm saying so the Cell that Gohan beat whenever he was rage amped, he scales over that version while rage amped.
Yeah, which Gohan per se? Are you talking about regular Gohan, or are you talking about the Gohan with the Kamehameha?
I'm talking about Gohan that was Super Saiyan 2 whenever he first fucked up Cell, right?
No,
and then Cell,
that's not the Gohan that's being referenced. That isn't Gohan that's being referenced.
Version within this timeline.
That isn't the most powerful version of Gohan.
Before this, like during this fight, you're gonna sit here and tell me that Rage Damn Super Saiyan 2, like fucking preteen, where the fuck version of that Gohan was not the most powerful.
Mm-hmm. So the reason why I'm saying that Gohan specifically isn't the most powerful is because when Gohan is using the Kamehameha, it's stated that he's not only getting buff from Goku, he's getting buff with even more anger. So that was scaled over the previous Gohan because he's getting anger amped and like other amps absurdly higher than his normal self, which Cell doesn't scale to.
That would not scale over because he literally needed that help from his dad to use that Kamehameha.
That's cool.
He needed, with all those buffs you're talking about, he still needed the added help from his dad to scale over Super Perfect Cell to beat him. Now he's weaker. Now in this version, even with his rage amp, he's saying that he is angry, but he just can't be the way he was back then.
Yes, that's in reference to the amp I'm talking about.
He's weaker than that version. That's in reference
to the amps I'm talking about. You're repeating yourself. I'm
repeating myself because you're literally like you're just not like you're not getting it, bro.
You're repeating yourself because you don't understand, but you're not understanding what you're saying. So you're saying that
I 110% understand what I'm saying. What are you talking about?
All right, so let me go ahead and let's go over everything that was said. So you're saying that Gohan, when he needed help to defeat Cell, he no longer possesses that same level of anger. That power that he needed to use Cell is the power that he's talking about in question, because that power is fueled by his anger. That's the Gohan that we're talking about, which Cell doesn't scale to. Because once Gohan goes, angry, Cell fucking dies.
No, I'm telling you that he scales over that after he died and he got the fucking, he came back. Yeah, bitch, because he came back and he got the fucking, we literally agreed with me on this shit, bitch.
Show me the scan where Gohan is angry with the fucking Kamehameha.
I need to show you the fucking scan of the father-son Kamehameha? I need to show you the scan where he needed. Really? All right, bitch.
Show it to me. Show me he scales over the father-son Kamehameha. Show it to me.
Someone find me the fucking father-son Kamehameha scene in the fucking.
Okay, all right, I'll give it to you. Okay, I'll give it to you. Give it to you right here. It's chapter 222. Okay, let me go ahead and drop this shit. And then I'm gonna give you the guide statement that go along with it. From the Gaijins as well, so. Shit, my fucking laptop's getting a little laggy. Shit. So.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to take years. I literally cannot get this scan the way I use it. The website I use is going slow as fuck.
Use Manga C. I'm using it right now. And then
Manga what?
just use the mangac.com. That's where I get my scans from.
Manga
It's
C or
chapter
seed?
222, by the way.
Seed? Like
Manga
SEED?
C.
Yeah, I was like, just like send a link to general so we can just click on it.
Also, wait, Clown, what chapter is it? I might be able to find it for you.
It's DBZ chapter 222.
Yeah, just type that in my shit and it said the domain didn't exist.
Because I already dropped the beam struggle. Shit.
All right, so this is you dropped it. That's all I needed.
Yeah. So this is him saying you haven't used all your power. Let it rip. And then once Gohan starts unleashing even more of his anger, it says now. And then once he starts to use all of the anger that he can completely possess, it completely fires back at Cell. And that goes in support with the guy's statement saying that the greatest and most powerful Kamehameha, produced from the power of Gohan's anger and the power of Goku, who had died and gone to the afterlife.
Right, and with the power of Goku, though. What I'm telling you is that without Goku, over Cell. And Goku's literally right there helping him.
Goku amping. I don't think Goku's actually amping Cell. The reason why I say that is because this Goku right here is in base. It wouldn't.
Hold on, that's your interpretation. So we'll leave that to the judges. I understand what you're saying. That you don't think he's helping. That's your interpretation of the scene. I'm fine to leave that to the judges.
Yeah, I mean, like Chrome doesn't actually know about this, so he can't really have his opinion on it. So, because I mean, this is essentially your claim because you're saying that he's being powered by it too.
Yeah,
and I was just trying to give an
know about it, but what's his name? Night Flame does. So if Night Flame disagrees, that's okay. I'm fine with the judges.
Okay, all right.
Interpretation of this because I feel like this is up to. I feel like this is up to judge interpretation when it comes to that. We're not done yet at all.
Yeah, we're not done.
No, on this point, like on this little area, yeah.
So you want to?
I want to summarize that point. All right. My point here is that without Goku's help, doing that Kamehameha on Cell, that he wouldn't have killed Cell with it. That's literally my entire point.
But my interpretation is that Gohan isn't actually getting amped by Gohan. So Goku isn't actually amping Gohan. The reason for why my rationale for it is because in this scene, Goku is shown in base doing it. So if he was actually trying to help Gohan absolutely win, he would actually go to his full power. That's why I think that in terms of the power of Goku is more so the power of encouragement, which is supported by another guide. I need to go and find it actually. So I need to actually fucking find that shit.
What I'm saying is, regardless if it's in base, he's still getting his power, the extra power from his father, which is what's putting him over the edge.
No, what I'm saying is that he isn't. So I'm not saying.
Plus,
so my rationale,
him, and that's
my rationale for why he's in base is that he's not actually there giving Gohan energy. It's more so he's giving him the words of encouragement.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get your point. I believe that he is actually giving Gohan energy. So we're going to disagree on that. That's why I said we'll just leave that up to the judges.
I mean, if you want to. I mean, I don't care. I don't think I need this point. So, anything else?
Yeah, so essentially, with that, I don't believe that there is any ability that Dabura shows using his magic that can get over on Cell.
We already
so essentially, what happens is long term, since androids don't get fatigued, he would just win a battle of attrition as he gets stronger over time from his Saiyan cells. And that's the reason. And because he's an android and they don't get fatigued, that's the reason why whenever you ask for that calc on how long technically would it take, that's why I think it's irrelevant, because the fact that he won't get fatigued, he can fight for as long as he fucking needs to with a guy who's relative to him that has no abilities that can take, eventually become stronger and whop him.
Okay, so two issues. So stamina isn't rate of growth. So your rate of growth and your stamina doesn't have to be synonymous, but I'm not even going to go hammer on that. So you said that kicking my words out. So you're saying that Cell has infinite stamina, correct?
I'm saying they don't get fatigued.
They don't get fatigued. All right. So he has basically endless stamina to where you can't get fatigued. Basically same shit. So where is that stated or where's that implied?
I got a scan.
Mhm.
It's a earlier fight whenever they first start fighting the androids.
Mhm.
It's with the dude. It's with the dude like sucks away fucking powers, and he's
You're kind of
he's an
getting
android.
choppy. You're kind of getting choppy.
Am I good?
You sound good now.
So he's fighting. He's an android. He doesn't feel any pain or fatigue.
That's Android 19. Why does that apply to Cell?
Because he's an android.
Do you think all androids are comprised of the same thing? Like they're all machines with like the engine, the infinite energy engine? Because if so, you have to present that.
The statement literally just says he's an android. It doesn't say he's android. What'd you say he was 18, 19, whatever?
Yeah.
What'd you say? It doesn't say he's Android number whatever, so therefore he doesn't feel pain or get fatigued. The statement is he's an Android, so he doesn't feel pain or get fatigued.
Yeah, so he's Android 19. So why does that apply to Android 20? Because not Android 20 Cell, because at this context and at this point of view, at this point in the story, they have no knowledge of 17 or 18 or Cell. So why does that apply to all of them? Because saying, well, he's just an Android isn't enough evidence.
The statement says it doesn't do particulars on which Android they're fighting. It literally says he's an Android.
The Android is 19.
Feel pain or get fatigued.
The Android is 19.
Right. The Android is 19, and Cell, the guy who made all the Androids, Cell was his fucking magnum opus.
Okay. What does that mean that he gave him the same thing? Because so your argument comes down to
because he literally has given it to every fucking other Android. Every Android they.
So you're saying he gave infinite energy to every Android, but you haven't presented that. Your argument for why they have infinite energy is because Android 19 is stated to be an Android, and he has infinite energy. Therefore, he should also have it because he's an Android. That's circular argument. Can you present the evidence that Cell also has?
I'm telling you, every Android they fight up to that fucking point shows to have the same ability.
Based where? Because when they're fighting against 18 and Android 17, 18, it stated that they're purely the only androids that have like infinite energy. So they're built different from 19 and 20. And Cell, we have no way of proving that he also possesses.
That's literally what they mean by fatigue.
If anything, I have a statement that implies he doesn't have the infinite energy. Are you cool with that?
That's literally fatigue. What is like if you run out of energy? What are you? You're fatigued.
Mm-hmm.
So 17 and 18, saying it right here.
Yeah,
he doesn't get fatigued. They don't. 17 and 18 don't get fatigued.
We don't know the same thing for Cell.
None of them go fatigued. They literally none of them go fatigued. And
actually, you know
what you're saying right now is that he gave all of these previous androids who literally exist, like Android 19 and 18, their whole point for existing is to be absorbed by Cell so Cell can get their fucking power and become super perfect Cell or whatever the fuck perfect Cell. Okay, and he's saying that after he absorbs them and gets their power, he is no longer fatigued. On top of the fact that he would give the ability to all the androids to not get fatigued, but he just wouldn't give it to his masterpiece. That makes zero fucking sense.
I mean, it just doesn't make sense to your logic.
No, it doesn't make sense
because I don't think it makes sense at all. Because what you're saying is that, well, it has to be this way, but you haven't presented evidence as to why he has it. Because has Cell ever been shown not being fatigued?
Even if you don't believe that it's built into him, like if you want to have that argument where it's like it's just built into base Cell, he literally fucking absorbs the androids and takes their fucking powers. And that's what makes them fucking stronger. And what are their powers? We just talked about the bitch. It's the fact that one of their powers is they don't get fatigued. They don't lose energy.
That's not their power. That's their stamina. Because if he's absorbing them to get stronger, it just means that he has their strength he only adds their strength onto his own. That doesn't mean that the infinite energy generator has any influence on that. It doesn't have to.
Prove it doesn't.
You know what? I don't even know why I'm beating around the bush. I'm gonna just grab that fucking statement. I didn't want to use it on you.
Go for it.
All right. So
is this statement going to prove that him absorbing them makes it to where he doesn't have the infinite fucking energy?
Mm-hmm. You just grab that motherfucker. Oh shit! That is wrong scan. Okay. Yeah, that's the wrong one. I'm gonna grab that. I already know where it's at. Yeah, I got that motherfucker.
What you looking for? Oh, you.
No, I was just trying to find statement. I just didn't know where to look at it first, so. So I'm gonna use this guide from called El Manga Legendario. So it's in Spanish only, but I got the translation for it. So drop it right here, and I'm gonna drop another statement that kind of goes along with it. So. Should take it a little minute to save. Just give me a minute. All right, so I'm gonna drop this one, and I'm just gonna drop this one. So one statement just says that he needs to like reciprocate the lost energy he had to grow back, and let me just get the translation for this one.
All right.
Oh, I got just a fucking document full of Spanish shit, so I gotta make sure it's the right one. And then you also have this one too. So I'm gonna use the one more, like the second one's more elaborate. So Cell protects itself against a powerful attack by Goku with beams of energy, raising a barrier. Unlike androids with unlimited energy, Cells decrease like that of a normal fighters by suffering damage. Goku's attack was devastating. So this statement is just saying that, well, even though he absorbed 17 and 18, and even copied their abilities, he does not possess their unlimited energy. And then the first scan just says that because he regenerates, he loses a large amount of energy that needs to be recovered.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the first one. I'll get to that. I don't think that means shit. But let me read the second one.
Mm-hmm. You want me to pull like the actual like the Spanish translation so you can like verify it? Like even like raw translations would just give you something similar.
Okay, so essentially, what both of these statements are saying that whenever he suffers damage, he loses energy. But since we know that he can regenerate, he comes back.
Mm-hmm. No, but this is in reference to the barrier though, because it's showing the barrier and it's saying Cell protects itself against a powerful attack. So it's saying that because of the because he doesn't have
the barrier to protect himself.
Because he doesn't have the unlimited energy, he doesn't have the ability to sustain it. So that's why he can still be damaged.
It says Cell decreases like a normal fighter by suffering damage, right? So it's saying the suffering damage is the what's the word I'm looking for? It's like the catalyst to him losing energy. But we know that he can regenerate. So when he regenerates, he just gets that energy back. It's nothing. And we know that he regenerates. Well, his regeneration's insane.
No, but
he just has to have one fucking molecule of a cell, and then he regenerates.
Honestly, I don't know why I have to use barrier. So when it's saying unlike androids with unlimited energy, so it's saying unlike means that they're not the same.
Right. So they're not the same because he does have like. I'll agree that he has that flaw where it's like once he suffers damage, then he'll lose energy. But once he regenerates, he gets it back. So it's like it doesn't like the long term effect is nothing.
He gets it back
because he can just keep regenerating. It
if
literally
he keeps
is only
regenerating, his energy levels.
The statement literally says. The statement literally says that Cell decreases like a normal fighter by suffering damage. That's what both of these things are saying. And then the other one, it literally says that he lost energy whenever he had by taking a large amount of energy from damage. But we know that he recovers almost fucking instantaneously. So it's no big deal.
You said recover instantaneously. So I'm not too sure about that, but we can go into that later on. So the issue is that when you're saying that, well, his statement is only referring to like normal fighters. So not like normal fighters. So the androids themselves are just stated to never be fatigued, no matter how much damage they take. So they would just indicate that he doesn't have the infinite energy like they do. Doesn't matter in what context, even if they get damaged or not. Now, even if Cell gets damaged or not.
The context 100% matters because it's saying that only triggers whenever he suffers damage. He only loses the energy when he suffers damage, but he has the ability to regen.
That's cool.
So it's like
energy. That's energy in general. That's energy in general. But the androids don't suffer that problem.
But then we go back.
The androids don't suffer that problem. The androids don't suffer that problem.
Then we
Androids
go back.
17 and 18 don't suffer that problem.
He only loses energy whenever he gets damaged. Because he uses like a normal that energy
but it doesn't imply that without being
and then once he regenerates, he's chilling. So now what you need to do is show me something that what's his nuts can do to Cell significant enough.
I don't need
that would knock him out of the game.
No. Because the issue is that you're not presenting me evidence that it's only applying outside of that. No, not outside of it. So
what the statement says.
I don't know
what do I need? What do I need to present? Your statement literally says by suffering damage.
I don't know why I'm being too fast with the phone. So the issue with this is just that it's saying that like androids
by suffering damage.
I don't know why I have to keep repeating myself. So the issue is that the androids don't suffer this issue because they can fight and take damage and have unlimited energy. So what it's saying is
we're not talking about the androids. We're talking about
Cell. Their characteristics. Cell does not have their characteristics.
We're talking
There's
about
nothing
Cell.
implying that he has the unlimited energy like they do. There's nothing implying that because your evidence is that, well, they possess infinite energy, so therefore he should also possess it because he absorbs them. But then the guide also states that, well, if he gets damaged, he gets his energy levels lower and lower, whereas the androids themselves don't possess that characteristic. If they get damaged, they still keep the same level of energy. So therefore, they wouldn't be the same level. It seems like in terms of
it literally says whenever he suffers damage, he loses energy.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
He can fucking regenerate.
That's fine.
And then he's back to normal. He's back to 100%.
But there's nothing implying. But the issue is there's nothing implying he goes back to that unlimited energy when he's regenerating. That's what I'm asking you to prove. So you're saying that, he only loses energy when he's sustaining damage. But once he regenerates, he gets it back. There's nothing.
That's literally what you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. Because I'm saying that these androids don't have the same characteristics.
It's in your fucking statement. It's in your statement. Unlike androids with unlike androids with unlimited energy, Cells increases like that of a normal fighter by suffering damage, right? So he has to take damage to lose his energy, but then he fucking regenerates.
Like a normal
so then he's fine.
Fighter, like a normal key-based fighter, but that doesn't mean
so
that
then whenever he goes back to a non-damage fucking state, he's not losing shit. He's fine.
You know, what it's saying is that in a fight, Cell has to worry about losing ki. It can stop Vices. So the context is saying that in a fight, since he's able to sustain damage and injury, he can get his power levels lower and lower like a regular key-based fighter, whereas the androids themselves don't have it. So what I'm telling you is
where does it say his power levels get lower and lower? Where does it say that his power levels get lower and lower? All it says is that he loses energy when he takes damage, and then he literally regenerates
like that of a normal fighters by suffering damage. That's
when he suffers damage, and then he regenerates though.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, can't present the evidence. No. I'm cool with that.
The evidence is in your statement that he only loses energy whenever he gets damaged, so then he regenerates. He's fine.
I'm telling you, can't prove that he has that normally. Because your line of reasoning is that, since he absorbed the android...
The proof is in your fucking statement.
Wait. Let me explain. So your line of reasoning was, since he absorbed these goddamn androids, and they have possessed infinite energy, that means, therefore, he also possesses it. But when it's stated that, if he takes damage, then he doesn't have quote-unquote infinite energy like they do.
So, look, I'm off that. You proved that his energy reserves don't work in the same way as the other androids. That's fine. What I'm telling you here, though, is that he only loses it when he takes damage, but then he regenerates, so he's square.
I'm asking you to prove he has it to begin with. because you keep saying that, well, he only loses the infinite energy when he takes damage. I'm asking you that he doesn't possess it at all, because it seems to imply that he doesn't have infinite energy to begin with. Because
no, what it's saying is that he's saying that he loses
showed to me
energy.
that he
It was
has it
saying that
normally.
he loses your fucking evidence right here. It says that he loses
This
energy when
doesn't
he
go
takes
against what I'm
damage.
saying. I'm asking you to prove he has infinite energy when he's not taking damage.
Your statement does by saying that
No,
he
this
has
does
to
not
fucking
imply
take
that he
damage to
has
lose it.
infinite energy normally. It says
Your
unlike
statement
androids
says
with
that he has to
unlimited
take damage
energy.
to fucking lose energy, and then he regenerates.
This
So
does
he's
not
square.
imply that he has infinite energy without taking damage. It's saying that unlike androids with unlimited energy.
It literally says that he has to take damage to
Yeah,
lose
we're
the
going in
energy.
circles because you're not presenting me any evidence. We can move on. I think I already won this point. So go ahead, continue. I don't know why I keep bantering with you.
You haven't won jack shit.
Okay, go ahead,
You haven't won
nigga.
jack shit.
What's
You
next,
haven't
nigga?
even. You literally haven't. No, no, no,
What's
no,
next,
no, no,
nigga?
no, 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 no.
Let's move on.
I don't know why I keep
not
going
done.
around. I have way too much fucking patience with you, bro.
We're about
Go
to
ahead.
start packing. We're about to start packing.
We're not
Bro, I was about
about
to start spurging on this nigga, bro. I already
If you
about to
start
get it.
spurging, that's fucking ridiculous, bro.
Go ahead. What's next?
You haven't shown that Dabura has any abilities that can even
We
get
already
Cell to
talked
that
about
point.
that. We moved on. We already talked about that. We moved on. I refuse to go
We
back.
didn't fucking move on.
Yes, we did. The judge can tell you. We've already had this talk.
All right, so you want to do closing statements?
I don't have a conclusion. You can go ahead. I don't need one.
Are you being dead ass?
I don't need one. I don't need you don't have to give a conclusion.
All right, so my conclusion is essentially, like I said in the beginning, they start out the fight relative in power, and he's bringing up this magical shit as like that gives him an over, but he has not shown anything that he can do with his magical abilities that would actually damage Cell enough to where it would make any type of a difference. He hasn't shown anything that could get over Cell's insane regenerative capabilities, and that's why long term, because of his Saiyan cells, because of his crazy fucking regenerative capabilities, he would win in a fight of attrition with Dabura.
Okay. That's it?
And that's it.
Okay, GG's.
Can I stop the recording?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. So, Chrome, is Chrome in here? Chrome, do you need to go? Do you need to go over the recording at all, or?
I don't think I need to go over the recording. There's just one thing that I need to check. Did you already save it?
Yeah.
Wait,
Hold on.
Oh, you're talking about on your side of things. I'm dumb.
Yeah. Do you want me to can I post and I cannot post and debate recordings? Okay.
Why don't they have you? You should have the
You can
perms for it.
send it to me or Gump, and we can post it. Or
Okay,
just
hold
send
on.
it to Chrome.
Okay.
Or just
Wait,
send it to Chrome and Chrome can post
wait,
it.
is it cool with either?